Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Stock Car Rundowns Fantasy Picks. My name is Mike, and I'll be coming at you, every weekend from now to the end of the season. Going over what you can look for and when you set your DraftKings and fantasy lineups. We're mostly going to focus on DraftKings. I will touch a little bit maybe on the Nascar.com fantasy side of things, but let's face it, you win some money on DraftKings, so we'll focus on that. You may be wondering why I started this week and not last week. Well, last week was Daytona, and Daytona is a crapshoot. I don't know about you guys. I don't like wasting a whole lot of money on my fantasy lineups at a race where half the field wrecks and most of your work and lineups go to hell anyway. Oh yeah, before I go any farther, slight warning. I may drink and cuss a little bit. Bear with me on that. It is what it is. But anyway, we're in Atlanta this weekend, which is nice. I love that track. Alright, so we can expect a lot of four-tire pit stops, with pretty much all of them this weekend. Atlanta's an old surface, so there's going to be a lot of slip and sliding, not a whole lot of grip, and a lot of worn tires. So I'm looking for a lot of the veterans to have big weeks this week. My top picks for this week, number one, the obvious pick is Kevin Harvick. The man has absolutely dominated the last several races at Atlanta. Just hasn't gotten the win recently. He's got one there, but I would look for him to just go and keep dominating again. Whether he can actually pull the win off or not is another story. If it comes down to short run, he's not really the best. But either way, he should still get you a lot of points. He's 10,400, but I think it's totally worth it. He is by far scored the most DraftKings points in the last 5 races there by 30 points per race average. So he's definitely my number one pick this weekend. However, it wouldn't hurt to put a lineup or two in without him, because I would say he's probably going to be extremely highly owned this week. And if something were to happen to him, if he were to wreck out, blow a tire, hit the wall, something like that, a lot of people are going to be hurting. So it wouldn't hurt to put a lineup in without Kevin Harvick in it, just in case. Next guy that I want to talk about is Martin Truex. I think the most underrated thing about the way DraftKings scores their fantasy lineup is point differential from qualifying to finishing position. And that comes in huge most times. Well, not most times. A lot of times, especially if guys have bad qualifying runs but aren't really that bad. This week, there's a unique opportunity with Truex failing inspection and not even getting a chance to qualify. So with him starting 35th, I look for him to come through the field pretty quick. Truex, Atlanta is not his best track. I think his average finish is... Okay, so his average finish is 9.4 in the last 4 races at Atlanta. Actually messed up. His value is 10,400 this week. Kevin Harvick's was 10.1. However, Truex does score the 8th most amount of DraftKings points recently at Atlanta. If you guys are wondering what the hell it is I keep staring at, I have all my information on my computers and my desk. So I got a lot of crap to look at as I'm looking this all up for you guys, so don't mind me if I'm staring off into space. I'm probably just trying to look up some number, factor, figure, statistic that I can share with you guys to help you all out and make you think I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just some random redneck, which I am, but happens to know what he's talking about most times. So, we'll move on. So Ryan Blaney, I have here also as a top pick for this weekend, mostly because of his qualifying position too. 26th, but he did do really well in final practice. He's got some good 10 and 20 lap averages, and he's not real expensive at $8,400. So he's something to keep an eye on and consider putting in your lineups. I kind of like, well, I'm probably going to put him in a couple of mine this week. Kyle Busch, as much as I hate saying it, he's probably going to have an awesome week too. The best 20 lap average, 2 top 5s there in the last 4 races, sitting at $9,700 this week. There really isn't a whole lot bad I can say about him, which makes me sad. I'm not a Kyle Busch fan. I ain't afraid to admit it. But the man's good. I definitely look for him to have a good week and battle with Harvick to try to get the win tomorrow. So keep him in mind. I got some low budget drivers here that I want you guys to check out. Help out fill the bottom of your lineup. Tricky Ricky coming in at $7,200 this week. I'm a little concerned about his qualifying position. He qualified way higher than he normally does, and for a mile and a half that kind of concerns me. So there's potential for some lost points there with the point differential, but I think he's going to have a good run, so you can keep him in the mix. However, Casey Kane I really think is a good pick this week. Where did he qualify? 14th. So Kane qualified 14th. He's only $6,200 this week, driving his new ride in the 95 car. He's got something to prove this year. Doesn't drive for Hendrick anymore. Got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, I think. I think it's going to come out this week. He ran pretty dang good all weekend. Not a bad 10-lap average today. I definitely think you should consider starting Kane. Menard's also somebody not to overlook. Solid car. He's also somebody who's got something to prove. He's in the best ride he's ever had in the Cup Series. Driving that number 12 Penske. Wow. I'm messing him up with Ryan Blaney. Menard's in the 21 Wood Brothers car. You gotta watch me. Sometimes I look at so many numbers, I screw it up. So he seems to have a good speed this weekend. He's killing practice, which, I mean, sometimes it doesn't really translate to the race real well. But Menard's a veteran. I think he's smart enough to keep his nose clean and come up with a good finish this weekend. I mean, I don't look for him to win or anything, but I think he'll be nice, solid top 15 this weekend. Excuse me. Other guys I'm looking at. Oh wait, probably my top low budget guy. Almost forgot him. Chris Buescher. Where did Chris Buescher qualify here? Let me check it out for you. I didn't write it down for some reason. Chris Buescher is coming in at 24th starting position tomorrow. Buescher. Hold on. Alright, so with Buescher starting 24th, I'm not really sure what to expect out of him this weekend. However, what is it, $5,900? You can't really go wrong there. Yeah, $5,900. I definitely think he's worth putting in your lineups. He was fast today in practice, so if you got to fill out your team with a low budget dude, that's your guy. The other guys you definitely want to keep in mind. Mr. 7-time. Can you really count him out ever? He ranks third in DraftKings points scored to land in the last 5 races, excuse me. 2 of those in which he won. So he's definitely got a good record there. Got to look for him to come back up to the pack from qualifying 22nd. So yet again, lots of potential for points there for you. So I'd put him in a lineup or 2. Boyer, I don't know what Stuart Haas is going to have going on this year. I expect more out of Boyer this year than I did last year. Guy's got to get a win. Don't think it's going to come this weekend, but it could. He actually has a pretty good car this weekend. Judging from practices and 10-20 lap averages, he's actually got a car that could potentially battle for a win. I don't know if he's going to get it. It's going to be hard to beat Harvick this weekend. But look out for him. $8,100. Good to fill a team with, just in case he breaks out this weekend. Kurt Busch, also pretty good at Atlanta. Fifth most DraftKings points there in the last 5 races, and he had a really good 20-lap average today, which the long run's going to be everything in Atlanta as long as we can stay fairly caution-free. Joey Logano, starting 16th, I do believe. Yes, Joey Logano will not finish that low. Just saying. I mean, unless he wrecks, and I got no control over that. I really don't. But he's got two top 6 in the last 3 races. So look out for him. Also, about the whole I can't control cautions things, I can look at these numbers and tell you who's going to do what. Well, suggest who's going to do what, all I want. But some idiot wrecks your driver, and I can't control that. Happens to me a lot. It's really pissed, actually. You can have like the best fantasy lineup going, and some idiot like cuts your driver's tire and he goes in the wall, or they're going for a pit stop and they get a damn penalty, and then there goes your whole fantasy team. And it's really frustrating. It makes NASCAR very unique from other sports as far as fantasy goes. So, don't shoot the messenger. Other people I would consider Chase. He's looked like crap all weekend. But, George Boy, I don't look for him to stay way back in 27th that he qualified at. He hasn't really given me much to go off of this weekend. He had a great run in Atlanta last year. Chevy is a little unknown, the new body style. So they obviously have some issues this weekend that they're working through. But I would look for him to have a decent run anyway. I feel like he's going to be coming through the pack. And with his qualifying so low, he's definitely going to score points this weekend. So keep him in mind. McMurray and Larson, that team's actually been probably the quickest Chevy team all around since they got to Atlanta. Now I know Newman has been quick, but Newman's that model of consistency, and I don't know. I don't never really trust him that much. It's just me. But McMurray and Larson, I definitely think Larson will be in the top 5 this weekend. I just have a feeling he's going to have a really good run. McMurray never quite lives up to the Chip Ganassi standard that Larson's setting, but he's got good equipment, and he has the potential to have a good weekend. I would look for him in the top 15. Nothing crazy out of him, but something to look at. Let's see what else I got written down here. It's only the second race of the season, guys, so, ease into it. I wouldn't go blowing your whole bankroll on the second race of the season, especially when we don't know who's going to do what this year. I mean, Martin Truex absolutely dominated last year, and I don't really expect to see that again. At least not in that fashion. Hold on a second. If you guys are putting in multiple lineups per fantasy weekend, I would suggest, if you don't already, focus on like a core group of drivers, like 2 or 3 guys that you really think are going to stand out this week, and then fill in the holes around them. Now, if those 2 guys end up wrecking or don't perform, then, kind of sucks. But if they do, then you have a solid foundation. That's what I like to do. I like to focus on a couple guys. Now, I will put some random teams in there, like I told you to probably put one without Harvick. I think that's a good call this week, just in case. Just one. Maybe 2. Depends how many lineups you guys are running. Yeah. Other than that, if you guys like my suggestions, or even think I'm an idiot, I don't care either way. Leave a comment. Let me know. If you guys happen to do really well this weekend and win some money, post some damn pictures. Show me what you did. But don't shoot me if you guys wreck or my opinion sucks. You can give me shit, and that's fine. I would give me shit too. Other than that, guys, good luck this weekend, and may the cautions be with you.